I'm doing this out of a whim, just a random thought that popped into my mind. So, I know a lot of people want to just, you know, stop existing. Like it's a really sensitive topic to talk about, but it's something that's pretty much relatable to a lot of people, right? Now, I don't necessarily mean to like off yourself, right? That's not what I'm talking about. I mean, yeah, part of it too. But a lot of people just they don't want to do it. Like they don't want to go ahead and just finish it off. No. They just want everything to stop. Now the reason I thought about it is because I'm one of them, right? Now I don't think about it every living hour of my life. No, right? I don't think about it when I'm going to work, or I don't think about it when I'm playing a video game. I don't think about it while I'm watching YouTube. No, that thought crosses my mind rarely. Usually when life is not going as planned, as would for a lot of people, right? It's kind of this thought where you go to sleep, and while you're going to sleep, you're like, I really wouldn't mind not waking up tomorrow. That kind of a thought, right? Not the kind of thought where you're like, oh, I'm gonna just jump or do that, do this, some kind of like aggressive, dangerous activity. No, it's just really mild. you know it's kind of like you're not doing anything, so the responsibility is not on your part, kind of like just passing away in your sleep kind of shit. So I was like, okay, that's probably not a thing a lot of people, because from what I've heard, everyone has this, thought of actually doing it, right? I don't really hear about people just not wanting to do it, but at the same time, just like pause existence or stop existence of some kind. So I just randomly Googled it. I mean, we have all the, all the amenities just spread out in front of us, right? Google, ChatGPT, Gemini, everything. So I just randomly went to Google, searched it up, Reddit post popped up, and I went in there, and actually a lot of people, okay, think about it. Now it's not like a conscious thought, it's like a fleeting thing that goes through your mind. Not everybody thinks about it consciously, and not everybody is aware of it either. It's kind of like a thing where you will be like, sigh, it's done. You know, kind of like how you are, to put it mildly, let's say you go for a video game, right? And this video game, a particular level in it is timed. So you die once, you kind of have to start from all over in the beginning, right? So you could literally be 99% done, but you die there, you got to go back and do it from the get go, from the start itself, right? So there's no like a double life or a third life or something like that. You have to like finish it in one session, and then you finish it finally. After so many replays, you finish it and you reach that end, and you're like, whew, that's done. I don't have to do it again, right? I don't have to do that one more time. That kind of a feeling. It's not a feeling of accomplishment. I mean, it is kinda, but it's more so that you're done with it. It's almost frustrated you because of how many replays you had to do. It frustrated you. So it's a mixture of accomplishment. It's a mixture of, okay, that's done with, no more having to deal with that. So that kind of a happiness at the same time, and that's what a lot of people hope for also at the same time when they think about these kind of things, right? Like they just want to be happy, and not having to think about the future makes a lot of people happy, right? Because if you survive, basically you got to think about the future, you got to be prepared for the future. So that's why a lot of people think the easy way out is to do what, you know a lot of people, I don't want to say it, I don't know what can be said and not on YouTube, but you know what I'm talking about. So now, what is the like way out? How do you not think about it? Well, one thing is basically just have a better life. There's no better way to put it. It's just, if your life goes better than whatever you're living currently, you're not going to think about it. It's not something consciously that you work on. I'm not saying not going to go. I'm not saying to not go for therapy or to not talk to people. That's what I'm saying. Those are all given, right? Those are advices that you can see everywhere along the internet, everywhere, right? like go speak to a therapist, call a helpline number, speak to your family, speak to your friends, speak to your loved one. Those are all given. Those are all basic advices. But another advice is, it's not an advice, it's just a thing. I'm just stating a fact. It's not an advice. I'm in no position to give an advice. I'm just stating a fact that when life just goes on, you stop thinking about those things. Like when you're so busy, it's kind of like the thing when our parents used to say, like, I don't know if anybody has gone through this, but if you tell your parents about something you're going through, they're like, they didn't have time to think about it. They were so busy looking after the kids, or they were so busy going to work, making sure that we are fed or something like that, that they didn't even have time. And that's why depression wasn't a thing in their generation. Well, one another fact I would like to state is depression was absolutely a thing in their generation. Just people didn't speak about it. Okay, we are so open as the generation right now. Not just the generation in this age. Forget generation. There is no generational gap when it comes to mental health, right? In this era, in this uh, age where there is like social media and connectivity around the globe, people are more open because one, you can kind of vent your frustrations, speak like I am speaking currently right now, you know, by being completely anonymous. I mean, someone good enough can probably get your name or your address or something like that, but nobody's going to go to that effort for no gain, right? So that's the thing. They also experienced this, they just didn't realize. And part of what they said is true. They didn't have enough time to think about it. Like when you sit with yourself in a quiet room and think to yourself, right? Basically, when you're left alone with your thoughts, that's when you start to put two and two together. That's when you start to think stuff, right? When you're so busy just, surviving, you more or less don't actually think about this. But it still goes through your mind, right? So I kind of believe them when they say they didn't have time to think about it. But it's also true that some of them had time to think about it, but they were not open to discussing about it because it could have been like they felt weak discussing about it, or they thought others would make fun of them, which is still a stigma that is still prevalent in spite of all the, openness that is in the world right now. Still there's a stigma surrounding stuff. I mean, still, let's consider a few Asian countries. I'm not trying to be specific, but in a lot of cultures, still going to therapy is considered as, oh, what, that's weird, he's crazy or something. So it's true. It's a very true fact. There's no lie in that. I mean, you might be part of that community, you might be part of that culture, where if you went straight ahead to your father or mother and told them, hey, I'm going to therapy, they would be kind of shocked. Okay, yes, you would be pretty lucky if you're in a household where you go ahead and tell them and they're like, fine, good for you. And they actually try to be supportive. And better yet, if they are ready to, have a talk with you and be like, you can say whatever you want to me, I just listen. But I mean, a lot of people are not that lucky. But what's the point about this, whatever this is? I mean, I don't know. It's not a video, it's not an audio, it's something. I just want to make it, and I mean, there's no subscribers for this channel. I don't get any views in this channel either, so it's pretty pointless to even post it. But I just wanted to. I mean, like, I don't have words, right? I just felt this random kind of a thing where I thought, okay, I have to put this out there, just there. Like nobody's going to listen to it, apart from maybe myself, if I feel like. I may not even post it. I mean, I might record this, but I may not post it. People might click on it and then leave within 10 seconds. Some people might stay till the end, and some people may not even click. The algorithm may not even push it. I don't know. Okay, I don't know none of it. That was a double negative. I'm sorry. Okay, but the point is, this is a thing that everybody goes through at one point of their life. Okay, not wanting to off themselves, but like feeling that sense of just powerlessness. You just will yourself to live the next day, hoping that one day stuff would change. And I'm just here to say that it will. Okay, you don't have to change everything at once. You don't have to change even one thing all at once. Even a part of it is fine, right? Now, some people might shame you for going to the therapist. Some people might shame you, and by some people, it could be your friends, could be the people that you trusted the most, could be your family, could be your own parents, might shame you for feeling the way that you feel. They might call you weak. They might call you, you know, crazy, or like it's a common thing. It's all in the phone. You're spending too much time on the phone. Some fact in that. I mean, definitely there's some fact in the statement that's all in the phone. It's not all in the phone, but it's a big factor, because we constantly compare ourselves with people on the other side of the globe, right? Be it in terms of fitness, be it in terms of wealth, be it in terms of a good job, be it in terms of anything. We constantly compare ourselves with other people because of social media. So there is some truth to it, but it's not all in the phone, right? Sometimes life just happens. Okay, you might not even be on social media and you still can be depressed. Life just happens sometimes, and there's nothing wrong in feeling the way you feel. Okay, doesn't matter where you're from, doesn't matter how old you are, doesn't matter your gender, your career, your background, or whatever you're doing, however you're doing it, doesn't matter. The way you feel is understandable, right? Whichever way you feel. I mean, I cannot pertain to every feeling in the world. I feel a certain way, you feel a certain way, someone else feels a certain way. Just feel it, right? And things will get better. That's the good thing about life, is that it moves on, right? You never know what's coming up in the future. That's the reason why a lot of people think about this stuff, right? Because they are so anxious about the future. They don't know what's going to happen tomorrow, so they just want to stop. But guess what? That's the good thing about life. It's that you don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. What if something actually good happens, right? And you're saying you're going through the worst part of your life, right? Most of the people who are thinking about it is like, this is, you know, the worst I have felt in my life. It's just better to just, stop, so that you don't have to feel this way anymore. But then think in a different perspective, okay? Now, this might be lost on some people because it just seems like empty words, and I realize it. But at the same time, think in a way, what if tomorrow is better? Because you're saying this is the worst point of your life. If you believe this is the worst point of your life, then tomorrow will only be better. That's just basic comparison. If this is worst, then whatever happens afterwards cannot be worse than that. If this is your worst, so whatever happens next would be better. But then some of you might have the question, well, what if it does get worse? I mean, you decide that you are at your lowest point in your life from whatever information you have so far. What if in the next moment, or the next day, or the next month, or the next year, life actually gets worse than you felt before? Okay, I'm not going to deny it, that can happen. I cannot promise that life will definitely get better. Okay, and I cannot promise that life will not get worse. It might. But that's the thing. It's a circle. It's not a line. It's a circle, right? The circle of life. You feel good sometimes, you feel bad sometimes, right? Now, the best you can do is to be like a pendulum, right? That's the best analogy I can bring up with my limited knowledge about how anything works. Okay, I don't claim to be a mental specialist. I am not even old enough to have wisdom to come out of my mouth, right? But the thing is, think about life not like a roller coaster or something. I mean, roller coaster is a pretty good way to think about it. I mean, it has its ups and downs and stuff. But think about it as a pendulum, right? Try to make your life a pendulum, actually. Okay, because if you have learned about it, when a pendulum swings, it kind of pauses on both the ends, on its peak, right? So it goes in an arc from point A to point B. Point A and point B are in the same line, and point C is in the lowest line, right? Point C is the length from the top of the pendulum to the bottom, and then it goes into the arc. It's at the highest point at A and B, lowest point at C. But if you have noticed, I mean, it's pretty easy. You don't even have to have like a classical pendulum. Just take a string, attach something heavy, and just swing. Just swing it. And you will see, ever so slightly, it pauses in point A and point B, and it goes really quickly through point C. Think about life in that way. Try to live life in that way. Try to pause in those moments when you actually feel happy. Because everybody's life has some happiness in it, like at least an ounce of happiness, right? Because think about it, when you're at your lowest, you think, I have the worst life, everybody's life is better than me, right? But that's not the truth. Somebody's living a far worse life than you. And it's also the truth that somebody's living a better life than you. Be at peace with that truth. You're not living the best life in the world, but neither are you living the worst life in the world. So if you try to view life as a pendulum, more so than anything else, there will be a lowest point, definitely. Every single time the pendulum passes from point A to point B, it goes through point C. Without going through point C, it never goes to point A or point B. So you will have bad times and you will have good times. But try to pause in those good times. It might seem impossible at first, but if you train enough, and how you train, I don't know, depends on your life, depends on your viewpoint, depends on the people around you, depends on how you view yourself. You can take support, there's nothing wrong in taking support. In fact, don't even call it support, right? Life is that. Why do you have to call them support? You deserve to exist, they deserve to exist, and one of the few reasons we do exist is to help others. That's one of the responsibilities of humans. It's to be there for others. You don't have to think of them as support. They're there. That's it. Don't give them a name. They're there. Right? So if you don't want to talk to anybody, fine. You don't have to. Talk to yourself. Yeah, that might seem crazy at first, but sit in your room, ensure privacy if you don't want anybody to overhear you, and just talk to yourself. Whichever way, you can use any example in your life when you felt happy, and that would probably bring up your mood. Now, as I said, I am not a professional. I don't know how to actually talk, through an actually depressed person's mind. But if you are kind of at least on the borderline where you feel like, am I depressed? You're in that phase of your life where you are unsure whether you can actually be termed as a depressed individual, or you're just lazy or bored. That's what a lot of people call you, right? You're just lazy, you're just bored. It's just because you don't have anything to do that you're thinking about all these things. So if you're at that point in life where you are unsure on which phase you are, like, am I actually depressed, am I not? I mean, I can't say. If you have to be clinically depressed, you basically have to be clinically diagnosed. So I can't really say, I don't have a say in that matter. But what I can do say is that life is a pendulum. It will have its up, it will have its down. And in this scenario, roller coasters are also a good example. I kind of dismissed them previously, but they're also a good example because if you think about it, when you're going up a roller coaster, it's pretty slow, right? You're going against gravity. You're like, the engine is really trying to push you towards the peak. Then you reach the peak. There is a pause, there is anticipation, there is excitement, and then boom, you go down really quickly, right? Gravity assists you, you go like really fast, and then you reach the bottom, and then it's done. You go for the ride again if you liked it. But you have to pay for it. Thing is, life, you don't have to. I mean, you have to pay for stuff, but you keep on living. No matter what happens, you keep on living. Right? That's why it's called life. It's because you keep on living. And taking the easy way out may not be that easy. It might seem easy, but it's not going to be that easy. I don't want to, lengthen this because this is already too long. And I probably just kind of, you know, jumped around all the place, and like it doesn't make any sense. Like, what am I saying? I'm just rambling. I don't know. But if at least one of you heard this till the end, till the middle, or maybe just 1 minute into the video. I don't care. I don't know if I'm going to post it, so whatever. But if at least one of you heard through all this and you're still here listening, I would like to tell you that your life is worth living, right? And a parting thought, just a parting thought. If you think you have it really, really bad and that you're too weak to continue to have it, right? Haven't you heard of the proverb? It's not, I don't know if it's a proverb, but put yourself in their shoes. Yeah, don't do that. Put someone else in your shoes. Yeah, don't put yourself in someone else's shoes and be like, oh, he's having a. No, don't do that. Put someone else in your shoes and think, would they have been alive right now if they went through the same things that you went through to be here listening to this video or audio or whatever right now? And if the answer is yes, I don't know what to say. I really don't. But if the answer is no, which I can kind of guarantee that most of you would say no, then that means you're strong. No one can live your life. Just know that. You live your life to the fullest. And you decide when it is actually full. Everybody say live life to fullest. You decide your peak. And you decide your descent. And you decide how fast or slow you want to enjoy either of those. So that's it. Signing off. As you can see, this is a random dumb thought. So yeah, if I am around, I will have more random thoughts. And I hope at least one person listen to this and, you know, change their mind for the better. So, bye.